Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Pulp Crazy. I'm your host, Jason Aiken. It's October, so get ready for a month of weird tales and other types of supernatural and horror fiction here on Pulp Crazy. I'm doing this leading up to Halloween. We're starting off with The Love Dead by C.M. Eddy. The Love Dead first appeared in the May, June, July 1924 issue of Weird Tales. This was an anniversary issue. While the story is credited to C.M. Eddy, it should be pointed out that H.P. Lovecraft revised it. I've always been a little curious about this story due to it causing, allegedly, a public outcry at a reference to necrophilia in the story. This got me curious because I just wanted to see how far the author went and just what the content was. It's also alleged that the uproar caused by this generated enough press to keep the magazine going as the sales increased. To this day, I have yet to find an electronic copy of this. As far as I know, it's not in the public domain, so that could possibly be a reason why. Check out ISFDB for some possible leads on where to find it in reprints and anthology collections. I read this in a collection of Weird Tales reprints, edited by Robert Bloch. It's called Weird Tales, 32 Unearthed Terrors, a story from each year the classic horror and fantasy magazine was published. The Love Dead is told in a first-person perspective. The narrator is a young man who is fascinated, or I should rather say he's infatuated with death and the dead. As a matter of fact, it's rumored in the small town where he lives that a distant ancestor of his was burned at the stake for being a necromancer. The main character's infatuation begins at his grandfather's funeral and continues throughout his life, as his behavior escalates from curiosity to criminal in nature. And as the reader, you're right there with him along the way. Now, as for the possible necrophilia reference, it's very tame by today's standards. As a matter of fact, I almost missed it while reading it. Basically, the narrator is discovered by his boss in the morning when he comes in for work. The narrator spent the night with his arms wrapped around a naked corpse. This would happen while the narrator was working as a mortician. So, yep, that supposedly caused quite an uproar in 1924. Now, if this type of characterization sounds familiar to you, I'm betting you are a comic fan. This story really brought to mind DC Comics' Black Hand character, as written by Jeff Johns in Green Lantern. Both characters' infatuation with death and the similar depictions of this infatuation makes me wonder if Jeff Johns was inspired by The Love Dead when he revamped the Black Hand character for his legendary Green Lantern run. But I do highly recommend you read The Love Dead. It's very well written, and I can only describe the prose as necrid. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Pulp Crazy is located at pulpcrazy.com. I'm at Pulp Crazy on Twitter. and facebook.com/Pulp Crazy. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/Pulpcast. You can also email me at pulpcrazy@gmail.com. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.